All right, darling. Happy day 60. Happy day 60 of a 40-day juice cleanse. How are you? Good, good. Every time I ask rhetorical questions like that, like, how are you? The other side of me is like, how the fuck do you think I'm doing? Huh? I haven't had cake in months. In months. It's really day 60. Happy day 60. Should I do these? Or should I do these? They're both for blue light. You go, okay. Okay, that's a look. That's a look. That's a look. Happy day 60. And today I just want to. Oh, do you need some light? Should I get you some light? Is this the right button? We're gonna. Yesterday. Ooh, how's. Ooh. Let there be light. What did God say? I could put that up right there. Yeah. Okay. We just gotta pump it out, right? Day 60. I'm doing laundry right now. Because that's what it takes sometimes. That's what it takes sometimes. Can I turn that down a little bit? I'm sorry, my retinas are already ready for slumber. Oh, that turned it up. Okay, that's as low as it go. Darling, how are you? On day 60, are you senile? Are you lucid? Are you grateful? Are you proud? Are you curious? Because that's where I'm at. And in my last video, I talked about the gold gradient effect. And that basically is the theory that a well-known psychologist came up with, which essentially explains why people get this rush of energy, why people get this strength out of nowhere to finish, why you all of a sudden have the energy to finish that essay that's due tomorrow morning, why all of a sudden you just start sprinting, why all of a sudden your punch card has 9 punches and you just need that 10th punch for your free one. You're like, shoot, you get a coffee, everybody gets a coffee. We got to get this punch card down. And I explained, I'm I don't fall in that boat with a lot of things. I have to actually just see that I can accomplish something and do it better than most people in my whatever I deem that to be. And the finish line could be there and I could be like, "Oh, well, I got here. Nobody here is left. All right, that's all I needed." And I'm like, "All right, on to the next. Let's go. Let's go." And sometimes that leaves room for falling back into old tendencies as well, and that's what we're not going to do. So the point, if you're new here, or if I'm just talking to my ancestors, I was in a closed coaching group of about 10 people from all around the world, and I hired a coach to hold my hand, my ponytail, and my bum because the binge eating, the food addiction was getting out of control, like to detriment. I understand why people go on YouTube and talk about videos about how they're homeless because they have a food addiction. I'm like, yeah, I can understand that. The only reason I'm not in that same position is I think number one, because God, and number two, because my pride. It gives me energy when I don't have any for some reason. Maybe that's divine pride. Who knows? But I want to talk about the other side of this. Something I really want to understand about myself. And of course, with most things we try to diagnose with ourselves, there's some type of theory or there's some type of effect. This one happened to be called future discounting. Future discounting. Why we basically choose short term comfort over long term results. So, what future discounting simply means is we value rewards less the farther away they are. Your brain treats $10 today as more valuable than $20 next month. Comfort now as more valuable than what health will be later. Relief now as more valuable than pride later. Even logically, we know the future reward is bigger. That compounded interest, those bonds you have, that investment account, going to the gym every day. We know if we stick to something, we will get the results. And your brain, I don't want to say it's broken. It may be being manipulated. It may be conditioned. It may be traumatized. It may be just following a pattern that you set out for it for all these years. It's just trying to do what you taught it to do. Mix that with some epigenetics, mix that with some ancestral trauma, mix that with some childhood conditioning, religion conditioning, educational conditioning, and you got quite a little potion for yourself. And you're wondering why you either sabotage, you quit, you feel physically exhausted, you feel physically fatigued. Something just always happens to happen. This bill comes out of nowhere. This ex wants to spin the block again. Your parents want to cuss you out. I don't know. It could be anything. And they all look like external situations that seem to be out of your immediate control. I hear you. I hear you. So, with all this conditioning, why does the brain do this? If we know better, we must do better, right? How's that going? Look at your neighborhood. Look at your country. I'm not I'm not I'm not calling people out. I'm just saying keep your eyes open and just observe, because as you learn more about yourself, you start to see where you play in the ripple effect of everything around you. Because I do believe how you do one thing is how you do everything. And that doesn't necessarily mean the effort that you do, it's the intention that you do things with. I'm sure we've seen people who are phenomenal fathers, but horrible husbands, phenomenal teachers, but horrible coaches, phenomenal relationship advisors, but they're not married. Some people have a gift in breaking down the concept of something, but I was talking to a guy, he was like 6'4", but he coached basketball for decades, but never made his team in high school. I was like, after talking with him and just learning about his career, and he was actually quite decorated. I used to think it's not like saying the chubby trainer. It's like, okay, all right. Some people just understand concepts on such a cerebral, analytical way that they can break down. They just weren't given the body to actually do it, but they're observers. They're observers and they're absorbers, and they just understand concepts that are totally different. So that's not what we're talking about in here. I wonder how he's doing. He's all right. He's all right. He's about 14 years older than me, and he was young. He had a young spirit though, but like us all, we're all facing demons, and they all got name tags. Okay, so let's not judge. It's just a portal. People come in to show you something more about yourself, and then when that's done, you leave or they leave. Who knows? So why does the brain do this? Why do we know what to do, but we don't do it? We know we should keep a tidy room. We know to keep a tidy room, we only have to really manage one corner every other day. Why does the brain do this? Future discounting comes from survival wiring. Your brain evolved to prioritize immediate safety, immediate energy, immediate reward. Because historically, the future was uncertain. We didn't know if that berry you ate from that bush was going to be your last. We didn't know if Lil Ray Ray and Tom Tom were going to come back from the voyage to get some food. So the brain learned, take the reward you can guarantee right now. Take it. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. This actually kept our civilization alive, but it makes long-term goals feel almost impossible. And in this time and space, as we know, instant gratification feels really good at the moment, especially for a binge eater, especially for anybody suffering with any type of compulsion or addiction. You need it now. Your brain is telling you you will perish if you don't get this now. There's no way we're going to make it to tomorrow if you don't eat that bonbon right now. You got to eat it right now. How this shows up in everyday life, I think this concept is great at describing and explaining why we eat the snack instead of waiting for dinner. We scroll instead of sleeping. We skip workouts. It's too cold. My body's too sore. It's too much. We procrastinate. We abandon long challenges. We struggle with saving money. Do you have a history of people who just, money was like fire in their pants and they just couldn't handle the heat? I did. They quit right before results appear. Now, in my videos, I've kept certain milestones where this is where 1/3 of people quit, this is where the second third people quit, and this is where the last few quit. I don't even know how I'm still here, but I know this is something bigger for me, and it's nothing to people who haven't quit. It's just not your season of decision yet. You haven't said I'm going to do this, or you might as well take me, God. I'm going to do this, or dot dot dot. Or there's no point. It's not laziness. It's not, oh, I failed. It's just your brain is trying to protect you. How many situations have we got in? We're like, why do we do that? Why do we act like that? Why do we walk away so quick? Our brain was like, girl, last time we was in a situation similar to this, you were a little overwhelmed, and we don't have to do that anymore. So give me the hands. Future discounting is quite emotional. You're choosing, just listen to this. You're choosing relief now over growth later. Comfort now over confidence later. Distraction now over discipline later. The brain overvalues relief and undervalues transformation. You know that, right? You're not crazy. That's where this dissonance comes from. You have two battling thoughts in your head all day, every day. Gosh, I just really want just like a bucket of mashed potatoes. And right before you start salivating, anticipating that mashed potatoes, like, oh, no, I'll get some juice. I'll get some. Do you know how much energy it takes to go back and forth, back and forth? You know, your brain is the biggest consumer of calories. I think it even outshines digestion, which is it digestion is the most energy and the brain is the most calories? That sounds like the same thing. I'm gonna have to look up the stats on that and just confirm that. But of course, your brain and your gut, one of the first things formed as a human, of course, they're gonna take so. We have to understand these things about ourselves. We have to understand how our biology works, how anthropology works, how astrology works. These are all affecting us. How did I just find out that the moon releases so much serotonin and that's what parasites, worms, all that? When I had these itchy breakouts, I looked back at it. Thankfully, God, thank you, God. I have a catalog that I have listed all my symptoms all day by day. I look back, I'm like, oh my gosh, I had real itchy butt around this time, which was around the full moon. And hookworms, pinworms, parasites, they feed on serotonin. That's why you've just been down in the dumps. And serotonin peaks during full moons. But we think this is all related. Okay. 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 You can't unsee this stuff. And I'll give it to you, Breezy. You know how to do your research. And this the things I'm learning, I'm addicted. I'm learning 10 hours a day. Yes, I have to do other things and I've learned to multitask, but I'm like, oh, this is where I'm supposed to be. I think I'm supposed to help multiple people with this. How did this juice fast line up so well? And I'm about to take this parasite cleanse. Hopefully, it comes next week, where the effects are going to be 10 times amplified by me being on a juice cleanse. I knew there was a missing piece. I'm like, oh, because there's still an entity taking majority of my nutrition. Yeah, you saw what I produced. Yeah, on day 33, day 36, 30, 42. Yeah, those trails that was coming out of me. Yeah, that was just their first line of defense. Did you know that? Did you know parasites can coat themselves in a shell almost in the same material as an egg? Do you know they defecate? They can hold 6 to 7 times their weight in spores, bacteria, metals. And when they feel like they're threatened, let's say pineapple juice is part of our regimen, pineapple juice takes them all out. So, in their last hopeful effort, when they feel like they're being threatened, or even a glimpse of being threatened, they release their offsprings. And hookworms actually have 42 uteruses. They can lay about 1 million eggs a day. And when you haven't learned how to properly fast and that you need a binder, you need something to come and sweep all that up. Once they've released all that, you're just sitting in your own toxins, wondering why you've had brain fog since 92. This is when you go down the rabbit hole, and only you can do it. Hopefully, one of your friends is doing this the same thing too, so they can put you on. They've already done the research and like, just shut up and take this. That's why you're crazy. I'm thinking about the guys I've talked to. I'm like, you had something controlling your brain. Even my friends, I'm like, oh God, you were acting out of behavior. I didn't even catch on to it. What? Our family. I've seen too much. I've seen too much. I'm like, oh, this is bigger than me. I know I have influence, but in what area would that be most effective? And I think I'm getting closer and closer. And yeah, I want some ice cream. But my time will come. This is when you really dial in and focus in, right? So, future discounting, we realize that the brain overvalues relief and undervalues transformation. The brain doesn't like change. The brain likes patterns. The brain likes routines. The brain likes predictability. How this relates to fasting, At the start of the fast, your future reward is, clarity, healing, self trust. I'm going to be talking to God. We're going to be having a direct line, baby. Direct line, transformation. The immediate reality is hunger, cravings, discomfort, uncertainty. So the brain says, um, why suffer now for a reward that isn't even guaranteed? That is future discounting in action. Your brain is actually saying, no, we should, I don't think it's going to be that great. And another concept is also when you future discount, some people consider that as you putting on things to your future self. Some people explain future discounting as I'll get to it later, which is part of the procrastination. You're putting so much weight on your future self, literally and physically and energetically, that why would they even want to appear? You said we'll save later, we'll find a job later, we'll revisit that task later, we'll do that errand later. You're putting so much weight on your future. I've made it a practice to help my future self. I'll clean up quicker than I typically do. And I typically run a pretty clean house, but ADHD, you're looking for something and you can tear up your whole room in 20 minutes. Less than that, 5 minutes. And then you got to go to the next thing. You're out the door, and then you come back. It's like, oh my gosh, there's stuff everywhere. Fold the clothes now. Pick up those socks now. Go brush your teeth and wash your face now. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying, if you know better and don't do better, that says a lot about you. I'm sorry. We're going to grow into it though. The brain, why I'm still hopeful, why I know future discounting gets weaker over time, because as you move closer to your goal, the reward starts feeling real. The brain is starting to see proof. The brain sees how you're conducting yourself. The brain sees how the reactions you're getting in the community, how you're showing up, how you're not getting angry, how you're staying neutral in most situations, how you're handling stress, you're earning more money. I'm still wired at 11:45. How is that possible? Your uncertainty drops. I'm only wired. As soon as I hang up this mic, I be out. Okay, out. As you get closer, the brain stops discounting the future because now motivation grows later in the journey. The discipline gets easier with consistency. Long fast feel hardest at the beginning. Long change feels hardest at the beginning. You get to a point where this is actually too good. I feel better about myself. I look better. I'm expanding. I'm stretching. I'm building my capacity. I'm flirting. I'm more receptive to children, to other people's dogs. They're just coming up to me. I'm like, hey, cutie. They even said that to the mailman. Like, hey, cutie. Go and give him a little wink. Go and get a little wink. Be flirtatious. Be fun. People think discipline means I forced myself to change, but it often means I stayed long enough for my brain to believe the future. That's huge. So, how to beat future discounting? Number one, bring the future closer. Instead of 40 days, say today. Your nervous system can handle today. Number two, visualize the reward vividly. Oh gosh, this is so fun when you actually tie your emotions to it. You actually designate some time to really get that creative, imaginative juice that you had all this time before you just doom scrolled, before you AI'd everything, before you outsourced your creativity, how you think, how you do everything, how you poop, how you whatever. Visualize. The brain will call you a joke. The brain discounts vague futures. If you are not clear on where you're going or the person you choose to become or what you are planning to develop and how it's just going to make you and the world so much better, it makes it a little harder. Clarity reduces discounting. And number 3, celebrate progress early. Small wins tell the brain the future is real. This can reduce resistance dramatically. I've already paid for the program, so I know I'm going to show up. I know I'm going to bet on myself. How wonderful. I'm so proud of you that you invested in this. Who knows the return of investment that we're going to get back from this? That always helps me. Future discounting is why the beginning is hard. Evidence is why the end gets easier. You start seeing your cheekbones. You start losing weight. You start getting attention. People want to know what you're doing. What a gift and what a pleasure. That's all I got for you tonight. And I hope something kind of sparked in there. I know it was kind of everywhere. I noticed in my videos, I wish I could move my camera. I'm just looking down at my desk. I'm not looking down at anything. But I just want to say I'm grateful to be here. And I feel like I'm getting towards something really, really close and something mind-blowing and something that's going to change my life forever. Just stick with it, Breezy. Stick with it. Stick with it. All right. I love you so much. And I hope you have a good night. You know where to find me for day 61 tomorrow. Okay. Thank you for sticking with me. Have a good night. Bye.